First in high definition from the station on your side, this is WAVY News 10.
Tonight, a Hampton Roads couple is speaking to 10 on your side about how they survived tragedy at sea.
Karen Kennedy and Rick Langlands were on the Costa Concordia when it ran aground. Divers found 5 more bodies from the ship's wreckage today. That makes 11 known dead. And now, chilling words from those in the middle of this tragedy. This is that conversation translated to English.
You go on board. It is an order. You cannot make any other evaluations. You have declared abandoning ship. Now I'm in charge. You get on board. Is it clear?
The captain did not get back on board. He's now facing manslaughter charges.
And those were the words of the Italian Coast Guard. 10 on your side's Andy Fox is talking to those 2 Hampton Roads survivors.
Yeah, the prosecution of this case will go on for a long time. Karen Kennedy and Rick Langlands will not comment on the captain's actions that led to this, nor will they discuss the crew. They do want us to know what they did and went through to get home alive. Karen Kennedy, remembering the nice couple from Minnesota, Jerry and Barbara Heel, now missing. Kennedy and her friend Rick Langlands had dinner with them 3 hours before disaster.
Very spiritual people, very kind people.
They left the Heels, and about 2 hours later,
and we heard like this big noise, and then the electricity went off.
Then the ship stopped dead in the water.
It was tilted, but the boat wasn't moving. And that's when I was like, well, this is kind of odd.
Fearing the worst and experienced travelers, they went back to their cabin.
We still didn't realize what had happened, but we thought, with the electricity off, we may not be able to get back into our cabin. We still didn't think we would be evacuating, but we didn't want our stuff in the cabin either.
Kennedy grabbed her purse and her certified birth certificate. Cell phone. Langlands grabbed money, credit cards, just in case. They went back to the upper deck.
You know, listen for 7, you know, ding, 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 ding.
7 dings could be heard, the signal to abandon ship.
It was starting to kind of reach a little bit of a panic mode. I mean, there were moments where we were inside with all the hysteria, and then when we got out, Rick was the one who said, come on, let's go down this way. And he was like, let's go.
They went to a lifeboat that didn't have a long line. This is a picture of Rick in the lifeboat before others started jumping in.
People started jumping from the boat into our lifeboat, and it messed up the weight distribution.
When they made it to the sea below and got away from the tilting ship, only then did they know that they would live.
Yeah, I knew we weren't going to sink with the ship. I knew we weren't going to die.
Once on shore with hundreds of others, they gravitated towards a church on a hill. Kennedy took this picture of the refugees from disaster at sea.
There was a big statue of a guardian angel. And
we were sitting underneath it.
And it was just surreal.
A guardian angel. Kennedy and Langlands took a ferry and then took a bus to Rome and then flew home yesterday. Tonight at 6, how these 2 very experienced travelers kept cool, kept thinking, and how their experience can help you when you're traveling abroad. I'm Andy Fox, 10 on your side.
Cool heads amidst so much panic. Again, the numbers today, at least 11 dead, and the search continues for more than 20 missing. That's an explosive to open up passageways. Also today, Italian Coast Guard released video from a helicopter on the night the ship ran aground. There it is. It's infrared video, and it shows the passengers lined up on the side of the ship during the evacuation. You can find the latest headlines and more photos from this story on WAVY.com.
Now to the weather. The rain is letting up for now, but there is some more on the way.
And tomorrow things will change again. 10 on your side, Chief Meteorologist Don Slater tells us how they're going to change.
And Super Duper 10 Live is showing that the rain has moved on off, and we're not likely to see any more rainfall until late tonight, likely after around 2 o'clock in the morning. So we'll discard that for now. We're going to show you where the rain is coming from in our forecast in just a few minutes, but we want to show you the temperature, 64 degrees, and we reached highs into the upper 60s across much of the region. But we've also had a very, very windy day. Around noon, 1 o'clock, we had winds gusting to around 45, 47 miles an hour. Right now, it's between around around 20 and 36 miles an hour. And temperatures, again, very, very warm now. It'll still be warm at midnight. It'll still be relatively warm tomorrow at 7 o'clock in the morning, 50, 53 degrees. But during the day, temperatures will plummet. You can see by noon, only around 42, 43 degrees. We'll round out our very, very changing weather coming up with our forecast in just a few minutes.
Norfolk police are looking for information in an early morning homicide. This deadly shooting at the intersection of Walker Avenue and Craig Street. Police found 42-year-old Thomas Valentine dead on the sidewalk. If you know what happened or have information about the suspects, call the crime line.
Tied up in traffic at the Hampton Roads Bridge Tunnel, this might be why. A vehicle caught fire after exiting the Norfolk side this afternoon. A viewer took this and sent it to report it at WAVY.com. The incident was a little harder to see from our WAVY traffic jam cams. The wind blew them all over the place, but as you can see, emergency crews were at the scene. The fire stopped all traffic heading eastbound on 64 and backed up traffic for several miles. No word yet on the condition of the driver. Norfolk residents spotted smoke and flames coming from a house in their neighborhood and called 911. Chopper 10 flew over this scene on Westminster Avenue, not far from the old Ford truck plant. The fire department told 10 on your side the house was vacant and undergoing renovations. No one was hurt, and the cause is under investigation.
A retired Air Force officer in Newport News announced he plans to challenge 3rd District Congressman Bobby Scott. For Republican Dean Longo, this is a first. 10 on your side's Ava Hurdle talked to both of the candidates. Ava.
Nicole, Longo, a defense consultant, is opposing Scott, who's up for a 10th term in Congress.
The 3rd District seat in Congress is up for grabs as newcomer Dean Longo sees it. He believes he's got a fair chance at winning it.
I really feel that we need to start focusing on the communities, on the families, and on the people of this district.
Democratic incumbent Congressman Bobby Scott has a similar view.
I think if I focus on legislation and continue doing a good job, the voters will respond.
Longo wants to get the power away from Washington and back to the district level.
So the communities can make the changes that they need. When they do it that way, it'll be a lot less expensive. The programs will be a lot more focused, get a lot more done, and it'll be better for everybody.
Congressman Scott takes a more detailed look at certain issues.
Criminal justice policy that focuses on young people, and of course the health care legislation, and making sure that we can get back to fiscal responsibility and create jobs in the process.
While the congressman wants to create more jobs, Longo wants to make sure the jobs currently in the district stay here.
In addition to Longo, another Republican, Chuck Smith, says he plans to announce his intention to seek his party's nomination in a couple of weeks. I'm Ava Hurdle, 10 on your side.
Scott beat back a challenge from Republican Chuck Smith during the last election in 2010 and from Winsome Sears in 2004. Find the latest in state and local politics on WAVY.com. Just click on the Politics tab.
There is a little boy in custody tonight. He's accused of stabbing 3 people.
He's a happy-go-lucky little dude. You know, there's never any problem. I mean, he was a good dude.
Tonight we investigate what could cause a child to react with such violence.
Pain at the pump.
Gas prices are bad.
And experts say they're going to get worse. But if you still want to take a trip, we're on your side with tips to help you with your travel.
And what to do with Waterside today. There's not a lot of activity here. We talked to city leaders about proposals to give this prime piece of real estate a boost.
You're watching WAVY News 10 at 5 with Tom Shad, Nicole Rivas, and Super Doppler 10 Chief Meteorologist Don Slater.
Norfolk's Waterside is getting a makeover, but what will it look like? At this point, we don't know. A committee is reviewing 5 proposals and will present its recommendation to City Council. 10 on your side did confirm that Norfolk-based Harvey Lindsay Development submitted one of those proposals. The developer did not want to reveal details, and Norfolk's assistant city manager said he could not discuss that proposal or the 4 others submitted.
You do your due diligence, and then you have conversations with your city council, and then when it's an appropriate time, you let it out.
What is that appropriate time? The big day is January 24th. That's when the city manager will present the committee's review of all 5 proposals to council. A final recommendation will be made no later than March. Coming up at 6, we'll ask Stein if the city's been dragging its feet at Waterside, and you'll hear his answer.
There's a community meeting tonight about the controversial sulfur plant proposal in Portsmouth. Meantime, one city council member is ready to react. This is a rendering of what it could look like. It would go on the former Portsmouth Marine Terminal site. Councilman Bill Moody asked the city attorney to prepare a resolution asking the Port Authority to hold off on a decision. He'd like the city to have more time to look over its impact. The community meeting starts at 7 at Norcom High School on London Boulevard.
We turn to it often, usually to settle an argument or to find some factoid about life. But an online tool that's become part of our lives is going offline in protest. Wikipedia's English site will shut down for 24 hours starting at midnight. This to protest proposed anti-piracy legislation. Wikipedia claims it'll restrict free speech. Lawmakers say these new laws would crack down on the sales of pirated products.
A state lawmaker wants smokers to pay a lot more for cigarettes. Hear how the proposed tax could ease the burden of another tax bill.
And we're on your side helping ease the pain at the pump. How you can keep rising gas prices from putting the brakes on your plans. You may have noticed this. Gas prices are up nearly 20 cents in 2 weeks in Hampton Roads, and they're not done climbing yet.
Analysts say we could see record prices at the pump by May. Right now, the national average for a gallon of regular is $3.38. In Virginia, $3.32. Here in Hampton Roads, $3.28. In North Carolina, $3.44. So, what does this mean for your summer travel plans and your daily life? We sent Katie Collette out to get some answers. Katie?
Nicole and Tom, many drivers tell us record gas prices would mean a major lifestyle change, forcing them to cut back from everyday driving and family vacations. And yes, those gas prices also mean an increase in airfare, but we have some advice to find the best deals.
Trend has come back from booking online to travel agents.
Mike Mueller of World Class Travel in Chesapeake says even with higher gas prices, his business is up.
What we do is we have a goal in mind what the prices should be. We have a history. We know that a price to roam should be between a certain amount of money.
And if you're planning a family vacation out of country, Mueller says book soon. Lock yourself into a good price.
The average time to start a European vacation would be about anywhere from 11 to 9 months out.
If you want to take care of your own travels and plan to fly in-country,
stay away from holidays, obviously, and then the best time to book would be Tuesday through Thursdays because you're going to get a little slightly better deal with that.
Better deals, something you'll need as gas prices explode.
And when it comes to filling up your tank, you could be used to seeing a 5 at the end of the price. But a 5 at the beginning, $5 a gallon, experts say it could happen by summer.
Oh man, come on, I'll stop driving.
Would you?
I would. I buy me a, what you call those?
A scooter?
Scooter, yeah, minibike.
Would $5 a gallon make you stay home?
Yeah, sure would.
I commute from Western Branch to ODU every day too, which is the hard part, so I really hope it doesn't get that bad.
This commuter says he'd stop hitting the road well before prices hit $5.
$3.50 probably. So
it's getting pretty close now to where you're reaching your limit.
Yeah, pretty close.
Now, if potentially record-breaking gas prices don't scare you away from traveling this summer, we have more tips to make your plans more affordable on our website, WAVY.com. Katie Collette, 10 on your side.
That'll get me on my bicycle. WAVY.com also makes it easy to find the cheapest gas prices in Hampton Roads. Just click the On Your Side tab, then scroll down until you see the red gas pump there. You can find a link to our gas tracker.
Well, we think of storms this time of year as blizzards. Well, you're looking at Belleville, Illinois, just south of St. Louis. See all that lightning going off there? This looks like a different season. Hail, rain, strong winds. This storm tossed bleachers at a high school 50 feet in the air. And there's evidence of this destructive force everywhere you look, but no one was hurt.
National Weather Service says an EF1 tornado hit Kentucky this morning. High winds in Louisville knocked over several tractor trailers, trees, and power lines. The storm damaged several homes and businesses.
Wow, January, and we're seeing that kind of weather that we think of tornado season. And I guess in some places, though, Don, we've talked about this before. Tornadoes are not that uncommon around January.
No, they really aren't, because look at what we've got going on today.
Yeah, we have a lot of wind, my
Get
goodness.
a lot of wind. Temperatures warmed into the upper 60s. It was 68 degrees, and we're going to crash tomorrow in terms of temperatures. So that big contrast in temperatures, that's what sets up these strong cold fronts and can set off some thunderstorms. Not for us, though. We're looking fine. Here's a look at what's going on. Super Duper 10 live. Rainfall. We had some light rain move through, and once again, it was just enough to dampen down the streets. It's gone. You can see it moving on through the Hampton Roads cities earlier, around 3 o'clock, and it moved on through to 3 o'clock, and then it was gone. We do have some cloud cover remaining out there, but a lot less cloud cover, at least for now. We're going to see more cloud cover. We're going to see some more rain. There's where it's coming from, way off to the west and really off to the southwest as well. Now, the end is near. Now, we're not, the earth isn't going to end, but it's going to, the warmer air is going to be ending during the overnight hours or first thing tomorrow morning. Here's our forecast with our future track computer model. 9 o'clock this evening. Rain, not real likely at that point. 15 to 25 mile an hour winds, still warm, still rather windy, breezy at 2 o'clock in the morning. We'll start to see a little rain by around the midnight hour. A lot more, though, by 2 o'clock through around 4 o'clock in the morning. Here's where we are at 2 o'clock, 15, 20 mile an hour winds. 5 o'clock in the morning, that cooler air has begun to hit. It will still see a couple of stray showers into Virginia, but for North Carolina, still some solid rain, a little bit more steady rain here, maybe a rumble of thunder, but severe weather is not likely. Unlike Kentucky and Illinois, we're not likely to see that. Tomorrow morning, 7 o'clock, stray shower, yeah, it could happen, will happen likely across the Outer Banks, but the big story for the day is going to be a lot colder. It'll be windy again in the middle of the day for tomorrow, but the winds drop off and the damage is done with that cold front. It's going to be a lot chillier coming up for tomorrow. It'll cool off all day long tomorrow. Now, Thursday, we'll see some sunshine and some cloud cover. Still a chilly day, even with that southwesterly breeze. It'll be a rather cool day coming up for Thursday. Now, here's a look at temperatures, and that's going to be our big story. 57, 58 degrees even at midnight tonight. We'll take you into tomorrow morning at 7, 50, 53 degrees, and that's as warm as it's going to be all day long, because by 3 o'clock, only into the low to mid 40s, 40, 43. Take you overnight into Thursday morning, and then Thursday during the day, around 47. You saw 48 pop up there, so we are going to cool on down. But enjoy what we've got. We've got some cloud cover moving in, and that cloud cover, again, is going to give way to some rain, but not likely until midnight. It'll be still rather breezy, not as windy as it was earlier in the day, where we had wind gusts over 40 miles an hour. It'll likely be gusting to around 30. Temperatures have dropped slightly. They're mostly into the low to mid 60s. 68 was our high, 46 was our low last night. So again, low to mid 60s right now. Still rather windy throughout the entire region, with winds gusting to around 21, 36 miles an hour, 22 miles an hour into the Williamsburg area. That will go away. It'll still be rather breezy for tomorrow. It'll be 52 degrees early in the day and dropping through the 40s all day long. Around 48 on Thursday, 47 Friday. Warming back up, but a good chance of rain coming up for Saturday and Saturday night. It'll be back into the low 60s for next Monday and Tuesday.
Wearing your headphones while you're out and about could be a dangerous move. The risk, besides your hearing, next.
And just like the rest of the country, people living on the Outer Banks are struggling to find work. Tonight at 5:30, which company's moving in and hiring hundreds of people?
A Fairfax delegate is proposing a big hike in Virginia's cigarette tax to provide personal property tax relief. A bill in the General Assembly by Democratic delegate Patrick Hope would increase the per-pack tax on smokes from 30 cents to $1.45. About $265 million a year from the revenue would be directed to local governments to provide relief for the personal property tax on private cars and pickup trucks. About $23 million a year would be used for smoking prevention and cessation programs. Republicans say the legislation won't get far.
Well, the clock is ticking to find an effective treatment for Alzheimer's. The federal government has a deadline, 2025. To reach this 13-year goal, the Obama administration is developing the first national Alzheimer's plan. A draft includes a public awareness campaign so more of you know the early warning signs. It's not clear how much money is available for this. Alzheimer's affects more than 5 million Americans.
Wearing headphones while walking could put your life at risk. Researchers found the number of injuries and deaths involving pedestrians wearing headphones tripled over the past 7 years. Over half of the incidents involved trains. In 1/3 of those cases, a warning sounded before the crash. Most of the victims were men and under 30 years old.
Having a whopper of a craving for Burger King? You can satisfy it without leaving your home. We'll tell you about a new menu option next.
And violent crimes are dropping in one Hampton Road city. We'll tell you where the streets are getting safer tonight at 5:30.
You're just saying that. You know what's in it. You know what's in it.
Have it your way, delivered to your door. Burger King is testing home delivery in Washington, D.C. Burger King says it developed thermal packaging technology. It ensures your burger and fries are delivered hot and fresh. Delivery will cost you $2 extra with a minimum order of $10, a price to pay for everything. Hotwire, Expedia, Priceline. Some of the big hotels want you to detour away from those sites and get a room key. It's a new site called roomkey.com. It offers up the best available hotel room deals, but cuts out the middleman and links you directly to each hotel's booking page. Places like Hyatt, Hilton, Marriott. So far, roomkey.com serves only the U.S. market, and yes, there's a link on WAVY.com. Call it a key. Stay with us. WAVY News 10 at 5:30 starts right now.